to another lawn mowing live stream. I'm here at another one of my clients' houses. You guys have seen this house in the past as well. This is the house that I call or nickname the French fry house, and that is because there's a Wendy's drive-through right behind the back fence. Literally, the cars are like lined up around lunchtime right behind the back fence there, and I'm here at 12:45 in the afternoon, so it will definitely smell like French fries today with the Wendy's back there. So, at any rate, wonder if that's something that you guys typically do with your clients too. Have like a nickname for each of the properties that you do, and that's how this one is the French fry house. We're from that Wendy's drive-through. So I'm gonna get to it, and let's turn the camera around. And we're using the Milwaukee again today. Really enjoying it. It's a really nice mower. Put my glasses on. I've been using it every day this week since I got it on Friday. So I've come to really get a hang of the mower itself. Is it perfect? No. But neither have been any of the mowers I've ever used. There's always something that you could tweak and make improvements on, but I will say for Milwaukee being their very first ever lawnmower, they certainly did their homework because it is very, very good. Yeah, especially considering, like I said, that it's their first attempt at a lawnmower. And then knowing how they've done, like with their string trimmer, like this being the second gen string trimmer and stuff, and they made improvements and listened to feedback and stuff, makes you wonder with that lawnmower being, I just bought it, but it's been out for about 2 years now. So it makes you wonder if they will come out with a second version of it at some point, because it already is pretty darn good. Wouldn't take much to make it an epic machine. Trim around these man covers. So once you get all the trimming done, we'll get the tripod set up so you guys can have a different angle instead of just the POV. Somebody's brave enough to enter the chat, let me know how the audio is and if where you're listening from, or sorry, watching from, I guess I should say. Michael Wojcik says hello. Hey Michael, thanks for joining again today. Seeing you join in a few times. Now Michael, can you tell me where you're watching from? Can't remember if you've mentioned it before. I can smell the French fries, but not. Oh, there it is. I was just about to say not as strong as normally, but there it is. At least it's not the bacon smell today. As we get closer to the corner here, you really smell it. As far as fast food goes, Wendy's French fries are some of my favorites. So it's kind of like torture. I'm on the lawn here every week, and I just smell Wendy's French fries. Just checking the comments there, but I saw another comment, but some nice flowers there, like the bloom. Another comment from Slimy. Don't forget to bring a towel, okay? I'm not sure what that refers to. Find my key. Grab a tripod as well. I've had 2 client properties in the last 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks ago, where 2 separate areas, but there's been down to 1 bar on the battery, so I'm going to swap the battery while I grab the tripod. There's been 2 neighborhoods that I work in that there's been house fires this past, it wasn't this week, it was the week prior, but just kind of crazy coincidence that I show up to one customer property and there's a house fire, then get to another customer property a couple days later and there's another house fire. Just weird coincidence. One of the house fires was right across the street there. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. You can kind of see the garage there, kind of boarded up, and fence around it and stuff. It was kind of strange that those house fires on 2 of the streets that I work on. All right. So yeah, the Milwaukee mower so far, I have been really liking it this week. It's set down to 2 inches. It's a pretty awesome first attempt at a lawnmower for Milwaukee. It's been out for a couple years now, but this is my first full experience on it. Wasn't sure what to expect with it. Given the price point of this mower, although it is expensive, it is on the low end in terms of pricing compared to mowers that I have used. So this is not quite the cheapest mower that I have used, battery mower, but it's the second cheapest. The cheapest was the Echo. Forget the model number of the Echo. The something 2100. That mower though, the Echo one, that one felt cheap. It was underpowered. This one is as powerful as any of the top ones I've used. The biggest thing with this one is just it's very lightweight. It's only 78 pounds without batteries. But torque and everything, it's a monster. So far, there's a couple of things I'd like to see improved on it. A couple are with the bagger, I guess. The fabric could be a bit heavier duty. And also the opening to the bag is quite small. Especially compared to the rear of the bag, it's kind of like a wedge shape, right? So because the front opening is just smaller opening. If you pack the clippings in there tight, you really gotta work to shape them out. So I'd like to see that as improvement. In terms of using this Milwaukee mower commercially, I would say yes and no, at least preliminarily. Right now, with only having 1 week of use on it, I'd say if you're an owner-operator, or you have a smaller business with like family, say a spouse helping you out, or kids, or one of your brothers or something, sisters helping you out, and yeah, you could use this Milwaukee mower no problem. If you've got a larger business or have lots of employees, then that's would really depend on the employees. Generally, I would say probably not, just because it is a lighter weight mower. Employees don't tend to treat equipment very good, so that's why I say kind of those scenarios. As an owner-operator like myself, yeah, I could use this Milwaukee mower no problem. I would probably get years and years of use out of it because it's me using it. I'm not going to destroy it. The cut on this is not too bad. It's actually pretty good, you can see. It's got that kind of auto sensing feature like the X Mark, where you heard the RPM kind of ramp up and down. It does have a button here where you can force the RPM high, but save battery. You can run it on kind of the standard auto mode that it's on, where it just runs at a lower RPM, but if it needs to, it'll automatically ramp up the RPM, so you get a bit better battery life. And speaking of battery life, this mower, that's probably the most surprising thing about this mower, is the battery life, considering it's just M18 batteries that it's using. That I've been able to get about six and a half lawns per set. It requires 2 batteries, so per set of 12 amp hour batteries. So that's pretty impressive. That was the one major thing that I did not know. Coming from using, various other battery models, the X-Mark Commercial 21, the Crest Commercial, very high-end, expensive mowers in comparison. The top performer so far in battery mowers, battery 21s that I've used, has been the Crest, with being able to do on average about 7 lawns on the big 11 amp hour suitcase battery. So that's why this thing just blew my mind, because it's doing roughly about the same, 6.5 lawns or so, just short of that, using just M18 batteries. They're 12 amp hour batteries that I've been using, but still, relatively, it's pretty darn impressive. Right, let me just get done through this little section here. Then I'll put the camera on the tripod for like the main part of the lawn. This spot where it can capture a little bit more. do one perimeter run, and then we'll put the camera up. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Again, as mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the house that I nicknamed the French Fry House, because the backyard backs onto basically a Wendy's drive-through. So because I'm here always at around this time, around lunchtime hour, you get the smell of French fries and bacon all the time in the back there. So the Wendy's is just right there. So there's the back fence. You can see. That is the Wendy's back there. So every time I come here, it's always French fries and bacon wafting through the air. I asked the owner once, I said, how can you stand living and smelling that smell? And she basically just said that she doesn't even notice it anymore. Alright, should be able to see part of the lawn through there. Yeah, she's just so used to living here that the smell of French fries is not something she even notices anymore. I guess that becomes like kind of normal for people. I got some clients too that live near like train tracks. And they're train tracks that in the dead of night, if I'm not asleep, I can hear them from my house and I'm way farther away. And they're practically, in their neighborhood. And they all say the same thing. I got a couple clients in that neighborhood and they're all like, don't even notice them. Just they get used to it and it's not something that bothers them. Yeah, today the bacon smells strong today. Somebody's ordering some Baconators. See, my client put a new fence back there. I was joking with him, where's the gate? Should have like a gate with a sign saying, in case of emergencies, get your Frosties over here. I'm just glad it's not my house. Because living behind the Wendy's, my kids would be broke. They'd be grabbing Frosties all year long. My son, he'd be easily polishing off those spicy chicken sandwiches. Let me know if I missed any lines. Hard to tell right now. The lawn growth has slowed down this week. So I'm looking back and there's at certain angles and directions. Can't even see if there's any, if I'm on the right track or not. If I'm missing. It's kind of that time of year. So along with the weight of this machine being so lightweight, at only 78 pounds. I'm loving the ergonomics of the handle. Easily my favorite of all commercial lawnmowers I've used over 20 years. Having just kind of that slight little slope here, slight angle, keep your wrists at a more comfortable position, being kind of the soft touch rubber coating over it. Very nice compared to every other mower, commercial mower that I've ever used. It's been just the steel bar. My next favorite after this would be the Honda HRC 216. Has a similar kind of curve on the sides, raised portion of the handle that you can grip sideways. My least favorite is the kind of X-Mark Commercial 21 or Crest, with just a plain bar. For a commercial mower, it just seems kind of weird. And you're using it all day long. If you guys can see me anymore, probably totally out of view. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm totally out of view there. Sorry about that. Let's see. Google Me says, should be called the Frosty House. You know you want a Frosty after you finish. Yeah. And you know what? Unfortunately, they don't have them. Normally, by this time of year, they have like the 99-cent Frosties for the summer. But I don't think they're doing that anymore. I think it's just like a 99-cent drink or something. Drew Camping says, Drew. Hey, Drew. Yeah, so at any rate, that's what we got on this small backyard. So you can see what I'm talking about with the opening here. Let's go empty it out and I'll show you what I mean with the opening. So you can see very lightweight. I just lifted that over the curb one-handed. All right, so look at the back of the bag. It's pretty wide wedge, right? Then it tapers to the front. So then we have just the opening there, right? So on some mowers, they'll have the cutout come out like out here, so the flap is covering that. So when you open it, you have like this much bigger opening. You can lift the flap and push grass back when it kind of gets built up, or you want to make some more room without emptying out. This one you can't do that. You have to take the bag out to be able to do that. So that's what I mean by that, is I'd like to see that. That design there, where this opening opens up a bit on the top. And then the fabric is a little bit, just not as heavy duty as I would like. Battery life is better than expected, like I said. I love the folding handle. The only other kind of glaring thing that this mower does that I haven't seen on some other ones, but then they've all kind of had their issues with self-propel. And not really issues, but just how they work. Like the X-Mark Commercial 21, you can only use the self-propel if the blades are spinning. So you have no self-propel if you're not using the blades. The Crest has a separate motor for the self-propel, so you can use it without the blades spinning, but the kind of engagement for the self-propel is only an on-off button on the crest. So you have to set your speed on the dial, and then you just turn it on and off. So, if you set it at a 3 or something, you go from 0 to 3 as soon as you hit the self-propel. So it's a very jerky motion when you're using the crest. This one, you can set your speed, top speed that you want, and you still have variable speed in the trigger itself. So if I put this on the highest speed 5, hold down my safety lever and just hold it down slowly, I can control the speed. If I hit it down all the way, and it takes off on me. So this has been the best so far. The only thing I'd like to see is that the blades, to engage the blades, you have this safety lever here that you have to use for both the self-propel. If I go with the self-propel and nothing happens, I have to have the lever down and then the self-propel works. You also need to have the lever down to turn the blades on. The other thing I'd like to do or see is having those as separate systems, so that when I'm finished my mowing, for example, if I can, so if I'm mowing a section and I'm using the self-propel, I'd like to be able to turn off the blade and still continue my forward motion. So I can't do that like right here. To turn off the blade, the only way to turn off the blade is to let go of the bail, but then that also stops the self-propel. So if I have to do that, now I have no self-propel until I hold it down and do it again. So it'd be nice to be able to disengage the blade, so when I get to the end of a run, I can stop the blades, but still keep the self-propel going just for efficiency. That would be awesome. Then that would be, so far, that would be the absolute best self-propel system on a battery mower that I've seen. Right now, it is the best in terms of being able to set, but if they could add that one feature, that would take it over the top in being so good. It's kind of like the Hondas, right? Honda HRC 216s, where the self-propel and the blade engagement are two separate bails, and you have to have them both, but you can release the top bail for the blades and still hold on to the bottom bail for the self-propel and keep going. So it just needs that one little extra thing would just make it so good. Put you guys back on my chest mount. Put my tripod back in my pocket. Hey, you happy to see me, or is that a tripod in your pocket? So yeah, you see we're going all Milwaukee today, at least for the first half of the day. This is the last lawn that I'm doing today that is going to be a 21-inch. After this is my two larger properties that I use the navigator on. So I'll be having to go back to using gas at the end of the day. Would love to get some sort of a, looks like the client's water's on. Don't think that's on purpose. I don't know where her water is. Maybe I can just turn it off there. It's never like that, so I will just turn it off. All right. Things are drying out. Lawn next door could use a cut. Actually, on both sides. Could use. Yeah, there you can see the see the Wendy's logo back there behind the back gate. All right, grab this tripod. All right. So there we have it. That is that lawn mowing live stream for that one at the French Fry House, that I like to call it. And yeah, looks like we got some activity over there at the fire house that caught on fire. It was the garage. They've already taken down part of the garage there. Kind of what's left. You can see it's all boarded up. But at any rate, thanks for joining me on this live stream. Special shout out and thanks in this episode to Michael Wojcik for putting in a comment in the chat to Slimy, even though I'm not sure what his comment is referring to Google Me for suggesting the Frosty House name, and to Drew Camping for shouting out himself. So at any rate, thanks again for joining me, guys, on this lawn mowing live stream. I will see if I can do another one, but I got to go stop at the gas station, fill up the Navigator. I got to drive in traffic. The other neighborhoods are pretty far away, so I'm not going to drive streaming. And then we'll see, depending on thing, if I can do a live stream somewhere else. So at any rate, thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.